नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं
व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Verse 14. Canto 2. Tavapi etarhi kauravya
तवापि एतर्हि कौरव्य
saptaham jivitavadi
सप्ताहं जीवितावधि
upakalpayatat sarvam
प्रकल्पय तत्सर्वं
tavad yat samparayikam
तावत् यत्साम्प्रदायिकम्
tavapi etarhi kauravya
तवापि एतर्हि कौरव्य
saptaham jivitavadi
सप्ताहं जीवितावधि
upakalpayatat sarvam
प्रकल्पय तत्सर्वं
तावद् यत् साम्परायिकम्
तावत् यत्साम्प्रदायिकम्
तवापि एतर्हि कौरव्य
तवापि एतर्हि कौरव्य
सप्ताहं जीवितावधि
सप्ताहं जीवितावधि
उपकल्पय तत्सर्वम्
उपकल्पय तत्सर्वं
तावद् यत् साम्परायिकम्
तावत् यत्साम्प्रदायिकम्
Anybody wants to recite?
पापी एतर्हि कौरव्य
तवापि एतर्हि कौरव्य
सप्ताहं जीवतावधि
सप्ताहं जीवितावधि
उपकल्पय तत्सर्वं
उपकल्पय तत्सर्वम्
तावद् यत्साम्प्रदायिकम्
तावद् यत् साम्प्रदायिकम्. Anybody else?
तवापि एतर्हि कौरव्य
तवापि एतर्हि कौरव्य
सप्ताहं जीवितावधि
सप्ताहं जीवितावधि
उपकल्पय तत्सर्वम्
उपकल्पय तत्सर्वम्
तावत् यत्साम्प्रदायिकम्
तावद् यत् साम्प्रदायिकम्. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Synonyms: Tava, your.
तव you
Api, also.
अपि also
Etarhi, therefore.
एतर्हि therefore
Kauravya, oh, one born in the family of Kuru.
Kauravya, oh, one born in the family of Kuru.
Saptaham, 7 days.
Saptaham, 7 days.
Jivita, duration of life.
जीविता duration of life
Avadhi, up to the limit of.
avadhi up to the limit of
Upakalpaya, get them performed.
Upakalpaya, get them performed.
Tat, those.
tat those
Sarvam, all.
Sarvam, all.
Tavat, so long.
tavat so long
Yat, which are.
yat which are
Samparayikam, rituals for the next life.
samparayikam rituals for the next life.
Please repeat after me. Maharaja Parikshit, now your duration of life is limited to 7 more days.
Maharaja Parikshit, now your duration of life is limited to 7 more days.
So during this time, you can perform all those rituals which are needed for the best purpose of your next life.
So during
So during this
during
time,
this
you can
time,
perform
you
all
can
those rituals
perform
which are
all
needed
those
for the best
rituals
purpose
which
of
are
your next
needed
life.
for the best purpose of your next life.
Purport.
Sukhdev Goswami, after citing the example of Maharaja Khatwang, who prepared himself for the next life within a very short time, encouraged Maharaja Parikshit by saying that since he had still had 7 days at his disposal, he could easily take advantage of that time to prepare himself for the next life. Indirectly, the Goswami told Maharaja Parikshit that he should take shelter of the sound representation of the Lord for the 7 days still remaining in the duration of his life, and thus get himself liberated. In other words, everyone can best prepare himself for the next life simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, as it was recited by Sukdev Goswami to Maharaja Parikshit. The rituals are not formal, but there are also some favorable conditions which are required to be carried out as instructed hereafter.
Hari Om Tat Sat. मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमो आचार्यपदाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथाधामधाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमः। ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरिहराय नमः कृष्ण यादवाय नमः गोपाल गोविंद राम श्रीमधुसूदनाम् मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्यमीश्वरम्। Hari Om Tat Sat. Very beautiful purport and very beautiful verses. So Sukadeva Goswami has already told what to do, that he should simply chant the holy name of the Lord. He should hear about glorification of Krishna's pastimes and his names and fame from the bona fide spiritual master. So Sukadeva Goswami is the bona fide spiritual master for Maharaja Parikshit and many others. So Maharaja Parikshit is advised here very beautifully. Sukadeva Goswami is encouraging as a spiritual master how he protects his disciples, encouraging him in the Bhakti Yoga process. Similarly, he is also encouraging Parikshit Maharaj, why you want to worry about I have only 7 days? What is the use of living even for 70 or 700 years only enjoying the material things? It's of no use. But even one moment if you hear about or think about Solpam Abhyasya Dharmasya, even 1% you put yourself into Krishna consciousness completely, then you will be, saved from the greatest danger, which is called death. So Katwanga Muni, he is telling, you have 7 days Parikshit, but you know Katwanga Muni, Katwanga, he is not Muni, he is a Raja Rishi actually, he is a saintly king. And he was a very mighty armed personality. So when the Asuras were waging against war against Devas, and Devas could not tolerate their defeat, then they came to Katwanga, King Katwanga. So many times it happened that even demigods cannot fight with Asuras, but a human king were able to fight with the Asuras if they are saintly personalities. So Raja Rishis having such potency that more than demigod, they have the power to even defeat the Asuras. So for the demigod, not only always the king, the Krishna will come as incarnation. Sometimes Krishna sends his saintly devotee king from the Prithvi to also protect the demigods from the Asuras. In this way, they are empowered. So Katwanga was requested by the demigods to fight against the Asuras to protect the demigods. And Katwanga king, he did that. And after completing the war for a very long time, now the demigods were very pleased with what Katwanga did. So they have requested Katwanga, let us also do something for you. Please ask us for a boon. What benediction you want? So Katwanga was just asking, okay, you just tell me that how long I am supposed to live more. How long I have my life remaining? Because I was in the war entangled so much that I didn't know how the time passed, because Deva's time is different from human time. So Deva's time is just 1 month is here, 1 day, like that. So he asked how long it took and how many days I have, how many years I have to live. Then the Devas has told them, my dear Katwanga, actually you have only 1 moment of life left. And the next moment you are going to die. So immediately Katwanga gave up everything and then took shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, by meditating on him and chanting the holy name. So this is wanted. And so Sukadeva Goswami is encouraging Parikshit Maharaj, what to speak of you, Parikshit, you have 7 full days and nights. Katwanga had only 1 moment of his life. And in that 1 moment also, he was able to achieve perfection. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Swalpam abhyasya dharmasya trayeto mahatobhaya. Even 1% if you do, at the neck of the moment, Krishna consciousness, then immediately you will be saved from the greatest danger. And the greatest danger generally is death, right? So, in this way, Parikshit Maharaj was very much encouraged, and Sukadeva Goswami is telling, so in the 7 days you have, 7 long days you have, you can hear continuously the sound representation of Lord Krishna. So the sound representation of Lord Krishna is, one is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. In that, not only sound representation, he himself is present. Second sound representation of Krishna is the Srimad Bhagavatam. So one should chant the holy name, which Sukadeva Goswami is already told in the previous and previous to previous verse, that whether you have all material desire or you don't have any desire or you want to get liberation, you have to chant the holy name of the Lord. So that he has already told. And then now he is telling the sound vibration, which means that both are required. One is chanting Hare Krishna mantra, second is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, through Parikshit Maharaj, Lord Krishna has planned to give us Srimad Bhagavatam from the bona fide spiritual master of Parikshit Maharaj, that is Sukadeva Goswami. So, we all have to do that. We also don't know how long we are going to live. So what we should do for our preparing for the next life, which is going to be maybe eternal. If you have got a spiritual master, then you will be taking the Satchidananda Vigraha body and you will live eternally as servant of Krishna. So for that also, for any next life, whether here in the spiritual world or this, for your next life, the best way that you prepare, the best ritual that you perform is simply hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is the conclusion of the purport of this particular verse. Any question? So let us try to do 1 or 2 more words. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, verse 15. Antakale tu Purusha
Antakaale tu Purusha
Agate Gata Sadvasa
Agate gata sadvasa
Sindhyada Sangha Shastrena
Chindyada
Chindyada
Sangasastrena
sangasastrena
Spruham Dehe Anuye Chatam
Aspram
Spriham
dehi niyekyatam
Antakale tu Purusha
Antakale
Antakale tu
Purusha
Purusha
Agate Gata Sadvasa
Agate
Agate
Gata
gata sadvasa
Sadvasa
Sindhyada Sangha Shastrena
Chindyada
Jnana
sangasastrena
Sangasastrena
Spruham Dehenu Ye Satam
Aspram
Spriham
dehe
Dehe
niyekyatam
Antakale tu Purusha
Antakale
Antakale
tu
tu Purusha
Purusha
Agate gata sadvasa.
Agate gata sadvasa.
Chindyada shanga shastrena.
Chindyada
Chindyada
sanga shastrena.
Spruham dehenu yechatam.
Spriham Dehenu
Ye chatam.
Anybody would like to recite?
Antakale tu Purusha
Antakale tu Purusha.
Agate Gata Sadvasha
Agate gata sadvasa.
Chindyada Sanga Shastrena
Chindayada sanga shastrena.
Spriham Dehenu Yechatam.
Spruham dehenu yechatam.
Antakale tu Purusha.
Antakale tu
Antakale tu
Purusha
purusha.
Agate gata sadvasa.
Agate
Agate
gata
Gata Sadvasha
sadvasa.
Chindayada asanga shastrena.
Chindayad Ashanga Sastrena
Aspramadehe nuye chatam.
Spruham
Spriham Dehenu
dehenu
Yechatam.
yechatam. Synonyms. Antakale, at the last stage of life.
Antakale
Antakale
at the
at
last
the
stage of
last
life.
stage of life.
Tu, but.
Two,
Two,
but
but
Purusha, a person.
Purusha, a
Purusha,
person.
a person.
Agate, having arrived.
Agate,
Agate,
having
having arrived.
Gata sadvasa, without any fear of death.
Gata
Gata
Sadvasa
sadvasa,
without any
without
fear
any
of death.
fear of death.
Chindyat, must cut off.
Chindaya,
Chindayad, must
must
cut off.
cut off.
Asanga, non-attachment.
Asanga,
Asanga,
non-attachment.
non-attachment.
Shastrena, by the weapon of.
Sastrena,
Sastrena,
by
why
the
the weapon of.
Spruham, all desires.
Spriham,
Spruha,
all
all
desires.
desire.
Dehe, in the matter of the material tabernacle.
Dehe,
They
in the
in
matter
the
of the
matter of
material.
the material tabernacle.
Anu, pertaining.
Anu,
Anupati,
pertaining.
A, all that.
ye,
Ye,
all
all
that.
that.
Cha, also.
Cha,
Cha,
also.
also.
Tham, them.
Tam,
Tam,
them.
them.
Translation and purport by His divine grace. Translation, please repeat after me. At the last stage of one's life,
At the last
At the
stage of
last
one's
stage
life,
of one's life,
one should be bold enough not to be afraid of death.
one should
one
be bold
should be
enough
bold
not to be
enough
afraid
not
of
to
death.
be afraid of death.
But one must cut off all attachment to the material body
But one must
But
cut off
one
all
must
attachment
cut
to
off
the
all
material
attachment
body
to the material body
and everything pertaining to it and all desires thereof.
and
and
everything
everything
pertaining to it and
pertaining
all
to it
desires
and
thereof.
all desires thereof.
Purport.
The foolishness of gross materialism is that people think of making a permanent settlement in this world. Although it is a settled fact that one has to give up everything here that has been created by valuable human energy, great statesmen, scientists, philosophers, etc., who are foolish without any information of the spirit soul, think that this life of a few years only is all in all and that there is nothing more after death. This poor fund of knowledge, even in the so called learned circles of the world, is killing the vitality of human energy, and the awful result is being keenly felt. And yet, the foolish materialistic men do not care about what is going to happen in the next life. The preliminary instruction in the Bhagavad Gita is that one should know that the identity of the individual living entity lost, is not lost even after the end of this present day, which is as one changes an old garment, so the individual living being also changes his body. And this change of body is called death. Death is therefore a process of changing the body at the end of the duration of the present life. An innocent person must be prepared for this and must try to have the best type of body in the next life. The best type of body is a spiritual body, which is obtained by those who go back to the kingdom of God or enter the land of Brahman. In the chapter of this canto, this matter will be broadly discussed. But as far as the change of body is concerned, one must prepare now for the next life. Foolish people attach more importance to the present temporary life, and thus the foolish leaders make appeals to the body and the bodily relations. The bodily relations extend not only to this body, but also to the family members, wife, children, society, country, and so many other things which end at the end of life. After death, one forgets everything about the present bodily relations. We have a little experience of this at night when we go to sleep. While sleeping, we forget everything about this body and bodily relations. Although this forgetfulness is a temporary situation for only a few hours. That is nothing but a sleeping for a few months in order to develop another term of bodily engagement, which we are awarded by the law of nature according to our aspiration. Therefore, one has only to change the aspiration during the course of this present body, and for this there is need of training in the current duration of human life. This training can be begun at any stage of life, or even a few seconds before death. But the usual procedure is for one to get the training from very early life. From the stage of brahmacharya and gradually progress to the grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyas orders of life, the institution which gives such training is called varnashrama dharma or the system of sanatana dharma, the best procedure for making the human life perfect. One is therefore required to give up the attachment to family or social or political life just at the age of 50 years, if not early, and the training in the Vanaprastha and the Sannyas ashramas is given for preparation of the next life. Foolish materialists, in the grab of leaders of the people in general, stick to family affairs without attempting to cut off relations with them, and thus they become victims of nature's law and get gross bodies again. According to their work, such foolish leaders may have some respect from the people at the end of life, but that does not mean that such leaders will be immune to the natural laws under which everyone is tightly bound by the hands and feet. The best thing is, therefore, that everyone voluntarily give up family relations by transferring the attachment from family, society, country, and everything thereof to the devotional service of the Lord. It is stated herein that one should give up all desires of one must have a chance for better desires. Otherwise, there is no chance of giving up morbid desires. Desires is the concomitant living entity. The living entity is eternal, and therefore desires, which are natural for a living being, are also eternal. One cannot, therefore, stop desiring, but the subject matter of desires can be changed. So one must develop the to Godhead, and automatically the desires for material gain, material honor, and material popularity will diminish in proportion to the development of devotional service. A living being is meant for service activities, and his desires are centered around such a service attitude. Beginning from the top executive head of the state down to the insignificant pauper in the street, all are rendering some sort of service to others. The perfection of such a service attitude is only attained simply by transferring the desire of service, spirit, or from Satan to God.
Hari Om Tat Sat, very beautiful purport once again. So, Sukadeva Goswami is telling here at the last stage of one life, what they should do. He should become fearless about the death. How it is possible? Only possible when he cut off all his attachment to the material body plus any desire also within his heart. Everything should be cut off. Then you will not fear death at all. Very simple thing, you know. But how to cut off those desires and how to become fearless practically is by chanting the holy name of the Lord and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And practically, Sukadeva Goswami is giving the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, and his first instruction was asking him to chant the holy name of the Lord. So these two things should go on. chanting the holy name and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, there is no any plan will help you. Because everything is temporary in this particular material world. Anything will remain for you till your death. But everything will remain here as long as the manifestation exists. But for you, everything will remain till your death. In the next birth, you don't even know what body you will be getting and which yoni of the mother's womb you will be pushed into out of 8,400,000 species of life. Anta khale chamam eva. So at the time of death, what you are thinking, that will determine your next body. And what will make you think what you are thinking at the time of death is the maximum thoughts that you have been thinking throughout your life will be more prominent at the time of death. That is why we have to practice chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Not just limiting to 16 rounds, but to start with the 16 rounds. 16 rounds is the beginning. So it is said minimum. So beginning is 16 rounds. And then with 16 rounds, and then you should all the time chanting this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the way we always remember Krishna. This kind of thoughtful process of chanting Hare Krishna will 100% guarantee you that at the time of death, you will be able to remember Krishna because your way of remembering is to chanting the holy name of the Lord and hearing the holy name of the Lord and hearing the pastimes about the Lord from Srimad Bhagavatam. So these are all the only two processes as recommended by Srila Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj and all of us in turn. So we should take this instructions very, very carefully because in the beginning itself, Sukadeva Goswami reveals the top secret as to what you should really do at the time of death. After that, he will start telling about how to do yoga, how to do jnana, how to do karma, and how you will come to the Bhakti Yoga. And finally, again, he will tell the Bhakti Yoga is the best of yoga that you should do. So he will tell all the processes before death one should do. But he has started with the successful process of simply how you should do is chanting the holy name and hearing the sound vibration, which is Srimad Bhagavatam. So these are all the two things that you must know. Krishna and Guru, they both are the two rails. In order for your devotional service to move forward, you need both the rails. Then only the train of devotional service and you in the devotional service performing will be moving around. So you cannot just give importance to one and not the other. That is why it is said Guru Krishna Kripa Paye Bhakti Lata Beach. So Guru is as important as Lord Krishna is important for your bhakti. Do not think one of them is more important, other you can ignore. No, you cannot. Because for a train to move, two rails are required. One is Guru and the other is Krishna. So you are the train performing devotional service to move on. So you're depending on both Guru and Krishna simultaneously. So Parikshit Maharaj was already Krishna conscious from the very before birth itself, because he has seen Krishna face to face before his birth. Throughout life, he was searching for that Krishna. So remembering Krishna is not a big thing. It's not a deal at all for him. It's a pretty easy and the natural way of his existence. He has been like that. But then he didn't have a spiritual master bona fide. So Guru, Krishna, both are required in order to surpass the death. Alone, one of them cannot take you. So you have to take a spiritual master. So Krishna has given the right spiritual master to Parikshit Maharaj by sending Sukadeva Goswami here. And when he hears from the spiritual master the sound vibration of Krishna, which is Srimad Bhagavatam, and take the instruction of chanting the holy name of the Lord and do the chanting, it is natural that Parikshit Maharaj's attempt will be 100% success and they will never ever take material birth again. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments or realization, please do share with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you for the association. So let's wind up and resume our Bhagavatam class tomorrow morning sharp at 8 o'clock. Till then, Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Yeah.
Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Vaishnav Pranam.
Pancha kalpatarubhya.
Kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Yeah.
Gaur Premanande.
Very good.
Thank you very